Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Invitation to Puzzles, where today I have for you a samurai puzzle with 5 overlapping 6x6 grids made by EMCK, who's featured on the channel a few times in the past. Let's have a look. So rules-wise, you treat each 6x6 separately as a 6x6 puzzle. So meaning you use the digits 1 through 6 in each of these 6x6 grids. And each of the little 2x3 boxes within each mini puzzle needs to have the digits 1 through 6 once each as well. But on top of that, we have a little rule that each puzzle has. So in this case, it's black dots and white dots. So here we have black dots separate digits where one is double the other, although the order doesn't matter. White dots separate consecutive digits. Again, the order doesn't matter. V's separate digits that sum to 5, and so actually we've only got 2 of those for the entire central grid to resolve it. We have region sum lines up here, where the sum of each line is the same within each region. So these two have the same sum as that one. These two have the same sum as that one. These 3 sum to that one, and so on. Let's see. These are killer cages, so they need to sum to the value given at the top left. So we've got those. And then we have thermometers, where the digits need to get larger as you go from the smallest digit to the larger digit along here. So strictly increasing from the bulb to the tip. All right. There is a link in the description if you would like to try the puzzle. And let's try it ourselves. So I did see that this killer puzzle has a lot of sort of things that are forced. So 6 and 3 can only be 1, 2, 3. That's the minimum you can make. Because remember, the digits can't repeat within the cage. I mean, I guess these are all within a box. These need to be 5, 6. That's the only way to make 11 and 2. Which actually, funnily enough, makes this digit a 4. If you look at it, it sees 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6 in this sort of W pentamino, if you want. So that's always a 4. That makes this number a 5 or a 6, but you just can't get to 6 in a 3-cell 8 cage because these two always sum to a minimum of 3. So this is actually the 5, and that's the 6. Which makes those a 1, 2 in order to get to 8. 1 plus 2 plus 5 is 8. The 7 cage is also given. It's got to be 1, 2, and 4. And that's not the 4 because of Sudoku. And the 15 cage has to be 4, 5, 6, actually, also, because that's actually the maximum you can get to in a 3-cell cage. But this 1, 2, 4 triple looks down at this 4, 5, 6. Well, it looks down at these 2 cells of the 4, 5, 6 and says that these are 5 and 6. So that's a 4. So that's not a 4. Now that's a 1, 2 pair, which makes that a 4. And so that digit is a 3 over there. Let's see. We can do a little bit more. Maybe, possibly. Maybe not, actually. I know that these are a 5 and a 6, but I don't think I know the order. Just by the row is all I'm doing there. It does mean one of these two is a 3, so this one isn't. So that one is a 3. So that one's a 3. So that's... so this is a 5 or a 6, but it's not a 5. So that's a 6. I can chase up there. Do note, anytime you're doing these sorts of things, you are sort of at the mercy of Sudoku Pad and what its auto check wants to do for you. So depending on how generous or ungenerous Sven is feeling that day. Let's see. These are going to be 3 and 4. Maybe 1, 2, and 6. I can't make this a 1, because if I did, I would be obligated to make these two sum to 10, which would have to be 4 and 6, which they can't be. So I see that can be 2 and 6, but I think I can't quite get the rest of this finagled yet. So I'm going to look at other things in the puzzle. I do see that this cell also has to be a 6, so let's sort of work our way in. 6 with 1, 2, 3 is the only possibility, because these need to sum to at least 6 as 1, 2, and 3, and this is at most 6 because that's just the only digit in the puzzle. That makes these be 4, 5, 6, and that's interesting because this number is the sum of these two. So that's definitely not a 6. And in fact, it can't be a 5 either, because if this was a 5, that would have to be a 1 and a 6, except that 6 is already there. So this has got to be a 4, a 5, and a 1. Okay, now up here, we've got a 4, 5, 6. Except I actually know that these two are 2, 3 just to finish out the box, and 2, 3 just is 5. So now this number is not 5 or 6, so it's a 4, and that's a 6. Okay, this number here is either, well, it's at least 3, because these numbers need to sum to at least 3. And therefore, it's only 3 or 4. Definitely a 1 there, if you like that kind of deduction. Let's see. What about these? These are 2, 3, and 6. Well, that's definitely not a 6, because that would require all kinds of weirdnesses in order to get that to work, like a negative number or something. Actually, regardless of whether this is 3 or 4, these are either 1, 2, or 1, 3. And so actually, these always come from 1, 2, 3. They just always have a 1, so I can actually mark off that cell. And also, that's a 1, 2, 3 triple, so these are always a 4, 6 pair. But that's definitely not a 4 now, because if this was a 4, these would be 1, 3, but I've already used the 1. And also, that causes all kinds of problems with this quadruple. So it's got to be the case that this is a 6 and that's a 4. And now these are a 2, 4 pair, because they can't be a 1, 5 pair, because the 1's used over here. Or because there's a 4 on it by Sudoku, if you prefer. So that means that actually there is no 2 in these cells. They're a 1, 3 pair, which means they did sum to 4 the whole time. 4 looks back, gives me the 2 and the 4, and tells me that this number is a 1 or a 3. The maximum that these can sum to, therefore, is 5. Note, they can't be 3 and 3 summing to 6. That would break Sudoku. So that's got to be a 5 now. And this being a 1, actually, I guess I could have done... The other way to argue this is this can't be a 1, because 1 plus 2 or 3 is not big enough, so this is a 3, and that's a 2, and they sum to 5. Whichever of those arguments you like, of course, both work. That 3 looks up there. It gives me a 2 and a 3. This number over here is actually known because it's not 1, 2, 3, 4, or 6, so it's a 5, making that also a 5. Making these numbers a 1, 2, 3. Let's see. These numbers over here are a 1, which definitely is not the sum of two numbers, so that's a 1, and that's a 6. These now are a 2 and a 4 because they don't have a 5 in them. And we actually know the order of the 2 and the 4. Okay, so that's not the 2. Neither of these is a 2. Those are a 3, 6. And that 6 actually looks over and says it's a 3, 6 in that order. 3 looks back there and says that's a 1. So those are a 2, 3. These are a 1 and a 5, and I know the order. And actually that one sorts out those, which sorts out that. That's now a 3 and a 1, and so that's a 2 and a 3. Okay, and so now we actually can look back down into this puzzle a little bit. Say those are a 1, 2 pair, and that's a 3. Oops, a 3. So that gives me a 4 and a 3. And also that 1, 2 looks down and says that's definitely a 6. So now these need to sum to 5. So they're either 2, 3 or 1, 4. But they're not 2, 3 because I've got a 1, 2, 3 looking at this cell. So actually it's a 4 and a 1. That lets me bounce back to these cells. So that makes that a 5. And that a 6. These are a 2, 3, and it's sorted out by that 3. These are a 2, 5, which is sorted out by that. And these are a 1, 4. But we've still got this assorted collection of 1, 2s to sort out from other puzzles. I might as well fill out, though, that these are 3, 5. So we'll have to come back here. This grid is completely done, at least. These are a 4, 6. Notice, by the way, it's easy to miss this, but that 6 does not see that cell. They are not in a puzzle together. So this 4, 6 and this 4, 6 don't see each other in the same way that this 3, 5 and this 3, 5 also do not see each other. Okay. That will do some damage, though, because now if you look at this, these are a 3, 5, but only 3 goes on the V. So that's a 2 and a 1 to finish off this column. And this is a 4, 6 over here in some way, shape, or form. This V over here now is a 1, 4 because it doesn't have 2 or 3 on it. Okay, and maybe we should try to work our way into this puzzle. So I do see that this is a 2 with a 1, 4 is the only way that I can make black dots like that work. And this can't be a 1, because if it was, it would make both of these 2. So in fact, that's a 4 and a 1. And now the only even digit that fits on this white dot is a 6. And every white dot needs both an even and an odd digit. And so this has got to be 5, 6. Or put a different way, the only place for 3 in this row is not on the white dot that already has the 2 and the 4 used. So the 3 has to go there. That's also fair. Okay, so this is either got to go 3, 2, 1 or 3, 4, 5. And we'll have to decide which after we decide what this black dot is that's made out of 1, 2, and 4. Well, it's definitely got a 2 on it, if you think about it, because it's either going to be 1, 2, or 2, 4. But 3, 1 doesn't sound good, so it's got to be 3, 4, 5. And so now these are 1, 2. But actually I can fill that in because this has got to be 4, something odd, something even. So that's got to be a 2 and a 1. And in fact, that's got to be a 3. And these are a 5, 6, and 5 doesn't go on a black dot. So we've got a 6 there with a 3. 3 now going into 4, not to 2 because of that 2. This now going down to 2 because this is a 6 by 6, so I can't go from 4 to 8. Let's see, by Sudoku, that's a 1, so that's a 6, so that's a 3. 6 looks up like that. These are 1, 5, 6, just by... this is a good 6 by 6 trick if you're not used to that. These 3 digits go there always, because they have to go in this box somewhere, and they're not going there, so they're always going there. So you can always sort of fill in, so these are 2, 3, 4, because those are 2, 3, 4. And so that's the 2 and the 4. The only of these numbers that works there is a 1. That number sees a 1 and 6, so it's a 5, and that's a 6. This number has become a 4, owing to the 6 up there. That is a 2. So now this has to be 3, 6 because I can't use a 2. A black dot without a 2 and a 6 by 6 is always 3, 6, and we know the order because of that 6. So these are 1 and 5, and we can do that order. Okay, so these are 2, 3, 6. Okay, so that makes the white dot 2, 3, and this a 6. That 3 tells me that's a 2, and that's a 3. These are 1, 4, 5, so that's the 5, that's the 4, and that's the 1, which sneaks me back down into this world. So that's a 6 and a 4. And now this 6 is actually going to sort out that pair. So that's the 4 and that's the 6. These are the 3, 5 in that order. Note, again, totally okay that that's a 3 and that's a 3. Okay, and now we can sort of sneak ourselves over towards the thermo puzzle. So these are a 1, 5. Let's see, these are 2, 3, 6. Do we know anything useful about that one? That's not a 3. That one's not a 2. That one's not a 6. So we'll say medium usefulness. I at least know this is not a 1. That's interesting. So if I look at this, let's see, I'm going to fill in my 2, 4, 6 down this column and see that that's not a 4 and that's not a 6, at least. That's kind of interesting. Okay, let's just fill in the triples. So these are 1, 3, 6. These are 2, 3, 5. Okay. Well, this bulb, sorry, this thing that's partially along a thermo is definitely a 3. Just out of those options. So that's the 6, which now bounces over here and gives me the 2 and the 3. See the 6 and the 4. This number is less than a 3, so it's a 2. This number is a 1 by Sudoku. That's a 5 by Sudoku. Okay. So these numbers here are a 4 and a 6. I can't put a 6 partially along a thermo, so that's a 4 and that's a 6. This number is larger than 4 and it's not a 5, so it's a 6. So these are 1, 4, 5. And these are 2, 3, just by using my roping trick that the 2, 3, 6 and 2, 3, 6 are the same. But very conveniently, whenever you have a pair on a thermo, you can use the thermo to sort it out. And this number that's less than 2 is a 1. This number that's larger than 3, unfortunately, can be anything. It can be a 4, 5, or 6. Let's see. Okay, so this number is at least 3 because it's not 1 or 2. So this can only actually be a 3 or a 4 because I can't get any larger than 4. I run out of room by the end of this by the end of the thermo. So this is 4, 5. That's 5, 6. And funnily enough, actually, that gives me a 4, 5 pair in the column. So that's a 6. And these are a 1, 2 pair. By Sudoku, one of these two numbers is 6, and it's the one furthest along the thermo for sure. Which then bounces back and makes that a 5, which makes that a 4 and a 3. So that a 4 and a 5. That's a 5 just by Sudoku. That's a 4. This is a 3. These are a 1 and a 2. Let's see. So what is this tip here? It's at least 3, but it doesn't seem to be 3, 4, or 6. So I think this number is uniquely a 5. And so these numbers are, well, one of them is a 6 just by Sudoku, and it's not that one because I'd have to dream up two numbers larger than 6. So that's the 6. This is the other 1, 2 for the row, but it's not a 2. So that's the 1, that's the 2, that's the 1. Okay, so these are 2, 3, 4. By the row. That can be absolutely any of those by the thermo, but this one's not a 4, this one's not a 3, that one's not a 2 by the rest of the world. Let's see. This is at least 2. And funnily enough, if you actually look at the digits that see this cell, it's at least 2, but it's not 3, 4, or 5, and it's certainly not 6, either for thermo reasons or Sudoku reasons. So this number is at least 2, but that's actually the only digit it can be, as if for this to be a 2, which gives me the 1 and the 2 over here. It gives me the 4, the 3, and the 2 over here. And now that I've got this digit, I can even ignore the thermo. It's just a 5. So we can come back over here and place the 1 in this box there and the 3 there. Let's see, that is a 6 and a 4, and we're done this grid. And now we've got to come back over and finish this. So that 3 gives me the 5 and the 3 over there. 2 gives me the 1 and the 2 over there. That 2 gives me the 1 and the 2 there, which gives me the 1 and the 2 there. And we have successfully done this puzzle. So I really enjoy these sorts of bounce back and forth. I like how we started here, but we couldn't finish it and then had to sort of bounce back around, and we couldn't really finish this, I think, until we'd done this puzzle. I sort of just intuitively looking at the grid, the thermo one seemed like it was going to be the least restricted because there wasn't any digit I could place by just looking at it. So that's why I sort of saved that one for last. Alrighty, I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know in the comments how you like these sort of overlapping grid puzzles. Also, let me know, actually, if you have any easier overlapping grid puzzles that you think would be appropriate for the series, because I would enjoy doing some more, but there aren't that many that are not towards the higher echelon of difficulty, if you will. All right, but thanks everyone for watching. That's going to be it for this episode of Invitation to Puzzles, but I'll see you next time. Bye for now.